Will the gentleman yield for some questions?
Yes,
The gentleman yields for questions.
Mr. Bucy, I was listening to the exchange that you had with Representative Leach, and I want to make sure I have a correct understanding of some of your responses. When he asked you if it was okay for a male to compete against a woman, your answer was that you believe it's fair for a trans woman to compete against other women, correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct. I believe in an inclusive Texas, and I believe in that.
Okay, but you would not agree that a man should compete against a woman?
I think, one, this bill isn't directly addressing that. Two, we've done that historically in sports.
Okay,
and
so you would...
That's fine, yes.
Okay, so
I'm trying to protect trans women's rights to get to be inclusive in our state.
Okay, I think I understand you. So you would acknowledge that there's a place for women's competition and for men's competition. You're okay with those distinctions?
Yes.
Okay.
I am not okay with discriminating against trans women in the state of Texas.
So I'm an athletic director, and I have the men's competition and the women's competition, and you believe that a trans woman can compete with the women, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm the athletic director, and I have students that I have to send one way or the other, and I need to make this distinction. Can you tell me?
No, the individual makes that distinction,
okay,
sir. The individual determines who they are in life and who they will be. Okay. We don't make that as a state. We don't make that as an athletic director. That is up to the individual.
Gentleman's time's expired.
Will you please extend the time, Mr. Speaker?
Mr. Schaefer moves to extend the gentleman's time. As objection, chair hears none. Time extended.
Okay, so as I was saying, you both agree male competition, women competition, correct? And yes. you allow for the what you say is a trans woman to compete against the women, correct?
Yes. Well, okay. I don't now because we banned it.
Okay. What is a woman?
I'm sorry, what is your question?
What is a woman?
What part of this bill are you referring to with this question?
I'm asking you to answer the definitive nature of your statement. You've asserted from the front mic multiple times.
When a woman tells me they're a woman, I know they're a woman because I trust them to give me that answer.
So can you define a woman?
I just did. When they tell me they're a woman, then they're a woman. It's not for me.
Can you define that?
I just did. That's my answer to you.
Mr. Bucy, can you define it without using the word? Because for you to say a woman is not a definition. I'm asking you to define the term without using the word.
I trust you to tell me what gender you are, and I trust everybody on this floor to tell me what gender they are, or to not tell me, because it's none of my business.
Okay, so if I just decide that I'm a woman, then I can go compete against the women.
I trust
because you trust me to make that decision.
To make that decision. Yes,
sir. You trust me to make that decision?
Yes, sir, I do.
So you would think it would be okay for me.
I believe in a Texas that's inclusive, sir.
So I just want to understand that your definition of a woman is that it is whatever anyone says it is.
I trust people. I trust them to be who they are in their own body. I trust them to get to be a part of this society. I do not support legislation that discriminates people getting to be included with all of us in the great state of Texas.
So if a person who has asserted to the whole world that they are a man, and now they've graduated high school and they're a freshman, and they decide they want to go play basketball, but they couldn't make the men's team, can they go to the athletic director at their university and say, I'm a woman, I'm trying out for the women's basketball team?
I don't think that's how any of the regulation works. Can you point to something you're talking about?
By your definition,
are you just talking hypotheticals? You're talking about something in this bill? You're coming up with scenarios, try to get me to change my answer on something? I'm going to trust trans people in the state of Texas.
Well, we actually have people that are in charge of these universities who have to make these decisions.
And you don't trust them to do so, right?
Well,
so you want to pass a bill telling them what to do.
But as lawmakers, we're charged with giving them clear guidance. We want to give them clear guidance about what the law is. And so, again, I'm going to ask you, what is a woman?
Did you not like my answer the first 5 or 6 or 7 times you asked that question, sir?
But you need to be able to define that. So if you have a person who's claimed to be...
This isn't my bill. Why do I need to define that?
If you have a person who has claimed to be a man their entire life and comes into college and now wants to compete against the women, doesn't the athletic director need to know what a woman is?
This is a made-up falsehood based on nothing happening in this country or in this state. You can't point to an example, and you sure can't point to an example in the state of Texas, and I trust our colleges to handle that, and they don't need to be regulated on issues that aren't happening. I'm also not the bill author, and you're asking me to define things in a bad bill. I'm not going to do it.
I think this is a question, wouldn't you agree, rooted in science and biology, that you should be able to answer from the front microphone what a woman is.
Is this a science and biology bill? Is that what we're talking about here? Is that what's before us?
I think you're having trouble.
Are you asking questions about this bill or my
amendment?
You want to read my amendment, sir? I don't think it has to deal with that.